My name's Simon Exleton. I proudly represent McGrath Estate Agents and sell residential real estate throughout the eastern beaches of Sydney. Today, we're here with the one and only James Hutton of the Beast magazine. Just a bit of background on James. 70,000 of these magazines go out per month, hand-delivered across the Waverley Council. Welcome aboard, James. How are you, mate?
Hey, good. How are you?
I've been advertising with you guys for over 10 years. The magazine's been running for 15 years. You and your brother Dan, you kicked it off out of the bedroom. Tell us the story. How did it evolve?
It's over 14 years ago, and I was working in the city there at Fairfax as an accountant, junior accountant, and they used to have a couple of commuters magazines that used to get on the train. And I remember just thinking, you know, I could do something so much better than this. I realised that there was a bit of a gap in the market in the eastern suburbs area. I was spending a lot of time sort of between Coogee and Bondi. Yeah, I just thought the publications around at the time didn't really reflect the demographic in the area, and basically the idea for the Beast magazine sort of grew from there, yeah.
This is number 169. Yep. There are 169 in-depth interviews, 4 to 5 pages long. You and Dan are the publishers, the editors, the advertisers. There's no new business marketing guys out there?
We don't have any salespeople. We've been lucky like that. We've had good support from local business and local government as well, and people have been reading the magazine, so the businesses advertising have been getting value out of it, and so we've been lucky in that we haven't really had to sort of get on the phones and cold call or too much, or you know, pay salespeople big commissions to go out and hunt down business or anything like that. So yeah,
you've launched a few careers. We just look across here. I mean, nobody knew who the Bondi vet was before Chris appeared on the front cover.
That's right. Dick Smith. No one had heard of Dick Smith until June 2018. A few years ago, I think we were in the top 20 most circulated magazines in Australia, which is quite hilarious. Now, I think in terms of independent publishers, I'd say I can't think of an independent publication that does anywhere near that amount of copies.
And so consistent, it's so reliable, everybody gets one, all your walkers, you were telling me, I mean, they're just trustworthy blokes, girls and guys that have been on your books for a long time, that get these into the independent letterboxes.
Yeah, so all of our staff, our delivery staff are locals. They get paid well. There's about 20 odd people now working with us, and they're all like, you know, there's no backpackers or anyone from outside the area. It's all locals that know the area, and they actually have some pride in it. They take a lot of pride in delivering the magazine, and yeah, they're just trustworthy people.
Tell me, with the Beast, is there a big picture? What do the next 15 years look like?
We don't really have a long-term plan. I suppose the medium-term plan is just to keep the magazine going. Like, we are passionate about print media, and as long as mailboxes are around, we'll still be around. But yeah, we're just trying to you know, keep the content fresh, remain independent and objective, because the media, there seems to be an agenda with almost everything now.
So when you're picking the cover, James, I mean, it's always someone topical, a general flavour of the month, and then with the interview, I mean, it's always poignant. Is there any standouts?
In terms of how we pick the cover, we try and get someone from the local area, or that has a strong connection to the local area. With the local football clubs, we'll try and get a Roosters or a Swans player on the cover. We'll try and get one of the Bondi Rescue lifeguards on the cover. But the one common attribute of all these people is that they are all ridiculously hard workers. Out of the 170 interviews that we've done, I can't think of anyone that hasn't really gone hard to achieve what they've achieved. Yeah. They're all quite memorable. Some of the ones we've done lately have been amazing. Like Osher, Ginsberg, who we interviewed last month, that was absolutely awesome, and he was super open. And same with Clayton Donovan and Rennie Matua. Like, they would answer any question honestly. As Rennie said, I'm an open book. Ask me whatever you want before the interview. But the one that still stands out for Dan and I was when we interviewed Anthony Mundine, and it was one of the best interviews, probably the best interview we've ever done. He was, mate, the most lovely guy. He answered the questions so directly and honestly. Yeah, he was just very different to the you know, what he puts out to the wider public, I suppose. Yeah, so that is still the most memorable interview that we've done, was Anthony Mundine, believe it or not. So we're still big fans.
How many photos would you get sent in per month from people that want to have their image
Oh, we get sent hundreds of photos every month from locals and visitors to the area. Yeah, I thought that would slowly decrease with the advent of all these photo sharing apps and that sort of thing. But if anything, that's made people more interested in photography, and we're actually getting sent more than we ever have before. And the big difference now is the quality of them is just like
all digital quality.
So many good photographers around, and a lot of them just taking them with their iPhones, you know. So.
I mean, James, look, it's quite an honour, mate, to stand here next to you. No one really understands how much effort goes into these magazines. I mean, the two of you, Dan and yourself, are just relentless in producing such a high quality and consistent magazine. I mean, you're juggling the photos, you're juggling the stories here, local chick, I mean, Emma Saddington, there's a great story behind that. I mean, all of these are done monthly. I mean, these ads in here are fabulous, all good quality. We'd like to thank you, James, for giving us like half an hour of your time here at the Clovelly Hotel. Thank you to the Clovelly Hotel. We'll be back for a few beers over lunch. James, it's been a pleasure. And if anybody wants to live in the greatest part of the world, I can find a property for you.
Yes.